Going live in 5, 4. Are we live? Son of a bitch! You never let me know when we're live. All right, apparently everyone we're live. We are
5, 4. Are we live?
That's right.
Son of a bitch!
Oh, I've already sworn on the camera. Son of a wait. All right, as you guys can tell, this is a PG-13 rated Twitch broadcast. And we are, oh wow, you can barely see the fireplace. We are streaming from an unusual place. We are streaming from a random conference room in our newly remodeled D&D area because the D20 Studios is currently getting remodeled as well. They're ripping out the carpet, they're putting new pictures on the walls, so bear with us in our very institutional looking gray-walled room. As a reminder, my name is Nathan Stewart, and Bart Carroll has voluntold me to do a fireside chat once a month. I started the fireside chat. He said we should do it regular. That's the voluntold part. The intention here is that I'm the Senior Director of Dungeons & Dragons, so I know a lot of stuff about what we're doing with D&D at a high level, and sometimes we want to talk, and I want to hear from the folks out there who are making this community great and playing with us. Want to hear what's on your mind, what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see in the future, you know, how much you love Spelljammer and Dark Sun. And then also sometimes I'll use this as a platform to tell you the kind of stuff that I'm thinking about or worrying about in terms of where we're taking the, you know, the brand or the franchise in the future. I do play D&D. I don't know all the answers. I definitely rely on Mike and Chris and Jeremy and Matt Cernett and Chris Lindsay. Pretty much everybody on the D&D team besides me to know more. But yes, I do play typically a rogue or a sneaky, stabby dude. I like the RP in the RPG part of it a lot, so I don't always min-max and don't always make players that are big damage dealers and stuff, but I do like to try and talk my way out of things, or as some of my friends and players would say, sometimes I ganache it, which is the name of my character, which is a neutral pastry chef, and so sometimes he will just be out there and like, hey, this will be funny if we just push this over. It's kind of like a cat, you know what I mean? Like, hey, it's getting a little too static in here. Maybe we should cause some chaos. Let's try that. So the intent of this is to just give a platform for fans, D&D players, to ask questions, hear what's going on from a different point of view other than our straight marketing. I'll be as honest and open as I can with answers and questions. And most importantly, as you guys know, I think every time we've done this, we give away free stuff, cool stuff, the awesome stuff, because we make a lot of cool merchandise that you guys see the people wearing on Dice Camera Action or Stream of Annihilation. And like, where can I get one of those mugs? Where can I get that cool shirt? We're working on that, I promise you. I know I've been saying this for a while, but sometimes it takes a little bit, but we're working on getting a good fan site store where you guys can get a lot of that cool stuff that you're seeing us make as swag. But until then, little by little, I'll drip some of it out here as a way to bribe you guys to keep me informed on what's going on out in the community. So, with that being said, what's up, community? What's going on out there? What do you guys want to talk about today? I didn't gather questions beforehand, so I'm going to kind of look to the chat right now. What kind of things do you guys want to talk about or hear? I'm going to look down at the iPad here where I've got the chat room going. All right, Time Night 113. So you guys put out a Star Wars RPG ages ago. I know you don't have the rights to do it anymore, but have you thought about a sci-fi RPG based on the 5th edition rules? That's a great question. The answer is obviously yes, we don't have the rights. But we also, yes, are thinking about a sci-fi RPG or asking the questions in terms of that. Mike Merrills and I have this conversation a lot. I think both he and I are big fans of Star Frontier from the old TSR days. I think we're fans of sci-fi in general. So we do ask this question. Man, I look fat. That's not the question. I know I look fat. So we do have this conversation in terms of should we be making that. And I don't know that there's a clear answer yet. I think we're still trying to figure it out. We want to make the best quality stuff we can make for you guys, and hit the biggest audience that wants stuff. So when you guys want something and there's a big demand for it, we want to meet that need, but we also want to balance that with going at the right speed to make sure that whatever we're putting out is at the quality bar that I think that we've established with the 5th edition content that is just a bit higher than maybe we had in the past. I think the pace in the past was a little too fast to keep that quality bar as high as we wanted, and now our pace is a little bit better, maybe too slow for some of you, but I think that we're maintaining a really good quality bar. So the long answer on the sci-fi RPG is we've seen obviously some different things come out in that genre, that space lately that shows some consumer interest. Definitely seeing a lot of other, kind of pop culture things that suggest that, that maybe it's coming around. Sci-fi as a subgenre in the RPG, it seems a little more, what's the word? It seems a little bit more like it's a period of time that's really popular, and it kind of ebbs and flows out a little bit more than kind of classic fantasy. So we're just trying to balance that versus any of the other settings or 5e updated worlds or new settings that we could do that's maybe a little closer to the kind of fantasy stuff. But at the same time, recognize that a bunch of people out there are really into the sci-fi stuff right now, and can or should we be doing that? So looking at it, no definitive answer yet. Definitely not anything to talk about anytime soon, but definitely looking at it. All right. Let's go, Nathan. Okay. What is the Extra Life lineup? That is a great question, and I think Pelham on the ones and twos over there can send you a link to that. But what I'll tell you in the short version is we've got Mike Merrills and Chris Perkins and Chris Lindsay and Satine and Rudy and some other friends and players out at GameholeCon this weekend, and they're going to be streaming a lot of stuff for Extra Life. I know tomorrow we've got Sean Wood running a game. From here. I know we've got Lauren running a game from here. Personally, I know that Greg Tito is in that game because I donated $50 so that I could give him a catchphrase that he has to say throughout the game, which has no easy way to get it in there, so I cannot wait to hear him use the catchphrase throughout the game. But I know those are going on. So far, we've been doing a great job at raising money on it. I want to actually thank everybody who has either just donated straight money, donated time, or bought the products that we have out there that go towards charity. We've got shirts that are raising money for it. We've got the Tortle package. We know there's a Chris Lindsay unofficial Grung package out there that all the proceeds are going towards Extra Life. And we did a small limited run of Xanathar's Guide, or we did a small limited number of Xanathar's Guide that we sent with Mike Merrills off to GameholeCon, so that if people wanted to donate $100 or more to Extra Life, they could get a sweet prize. Obviously, we know the book is very valuable, so you're kind of buying the book and then giving like a $50 donation to Extra Life, but we think that's a worthy cause across the board. So we're doing really well. I think that we're almost at $100,000 raised for Children's Miracle Network. And if you guys don't know, Children's Miracle Network is an awesome charity. It's an awesome organization. I forget how many children's hospitals or I don't know what the right word is, but organizations that are helping children's health. I think a lot of them are children's hospitals. I know the Children's Hospital Seattle is a great one. They're linked in with that. I know the Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh is linked in with the Children's Miracle Network. And I know that the Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital in Florida is linked to it, but they do great work. They bring kids who, in many cases are having terminal diseases or really life-changing medical procedures, and they do a lot for the whole family, like for the whole kid. They don't just treat the kids, which I think is important, but I volunteer from time to time at the Children's Hospital in Seattle, and I've gone to the Children's Hospital in Seattle as a parent, and it's great because they think of the whole family, they think of the kids in their medical needs, but they also think of it in terms of their emotional needs and fun and support and feeling like a kid. The Ronald McDonald House has a great campus right next to Children's Hospital in Seattle where parents can stay if their kids are going to be in there a long time. So if you don't already know about it, I love the charity. I personally donate to the charity as well beyond what we're doing here. And I think Children's Miracle Network and Children's Hospitals are fantastic. So we're really happy to be supporting it. And I'm very proud of Bart and Pelham and Tito and all of our other volunteers and people who are working to, on the team to raise the money. And I'm really proud of how much money we've raised so far. So if you can, donate. If you can't, if you've already donated, all of your donation budget has gone to Texas or Florida or Puerto Rico, I totally get that. Just watch it, enjoy, and have fun. If you're barely scraping by and you can't afford to donate anything, watch and enjoy and have fun. The intent here is, to give people a good vehicle to donate if they can, and then to bring our community together around a good cause. So lots of talking, I know. Okay. How are you continuing to develop MTG, which I'm assuming stands for Magic the Gathering and not meeting, worlds into the D&D space, say Dominaria? Ed does everything, asked that question. Ed, I don't know if you've seen our Plane Shift PDFs we've put out on Dragon Plus, our iPad magazine, or if obviously we do this on the website too. So we've definitely been working with the Magic team to kind of find cheat notes for kind of how to bring the worlds and stuff in there. We're dabbling in there. I think that working with them, opening the gates, talking and seeing how many people download that, how many people want to cross the streams. So right now, if you think that D&D and Magic stuff is cool, and you like that kind of thing, let us know. Like, we want to know, we want to do what the big bunch of fans want us to do, but there's just like all kinds of stuff to pick, and you never know which one to pick. So we have to have some kind of way to kind of size up the opportunity. So we're very open to doing more stuff with Magic and very interested. We just need to know what the cool stuff is to do, what the fans are going to like. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Someone wants a Star Frontier box set. That sounds like a cool idea. Okay, scheduled for there. A DM could make his own sci-fi setting. It's in the DM's guide with weapons damage. Forked Tongue 32. Yeah, I mean, in terms of making your own sci-fi setting, I think one of the beauties of the 5th edition is you really can apply it to a lot of other RPG worlds or systems that you like, a lot of other fantasy worlds. I mean, like I said, we've done the kind of cheat sheet for how to incorporate a Magic world into the 5e rules. You could take a setting that was previously sci-fi and apply it to that on your own. We've also got the DM's Guild, which is obviously our web portal marketplace where creators go up there and put their different builds and their different whether it's stories or campaigns or Bart Carroll's waving at me through the window. Totally got me off my game. Campaigns, world settings, adventures, whatnot. So yeah, I mean, there's lots of different ways that DMs could either create that themselves or create it and share it. I think the rules are pretty flexible, but I also think there's something special about the adventures and settings that the team creates here. I think we put a lot of time and energy and a lot of really creative, fun people working on it that, if it wasn't your day job, you wouldn't be able to invest the kind of time and energy we do. So, I think that if we put all our might and energy behind it, it's usually a bit more resources than the average Joe or Jane can do, considering most people have to go work. And that is our job. So we'll try to see if we can do that stuff if it makes sense. Would consider, whoa, it's going too fast for me. Hang on. Okay, Forked Tongue, Would consider reviving D20 Modern. I don't know. To be honest, we haven't had any conversations about that at my level, so I can't answer it. Ashwood James. I lost it. Will there be another Stream of Annihilation style stream for the next book reveal? Pelham, has Bart or Greg talked about this? So if I tell people, then I'll be scooping them? And I love scooping them? Yes, absolutely. Totally loved the Stream of Annihilation. That thing rocked. We had so much fun doing it. Everyone who came had fun doing it. Thought it was a really cool way to kind of share the information. Yes, you should mark your calendars. Sometime around the same time next year, we will plan on unveiling the new storyline for you guys, and I totally think that it'll have lots of Stream of Annihilation type elements. You're welcome, Tito. Oh, that's so fun. Okay, that totally threw me. Been a lot of talk about some of the older D&D editions here on Twitch, Dragon Plus, etc. So are there any thoughts about bringing prestige classes into the 5e era and updating them? Justin Teagan, that is absolutely a question for Mike Merrills and Jeremy Crawford. I cannot answer that one, I'm sorry. So that's just a layer deeper than I usually go into the strategy stuff with them. I really like the 2e Monstrous Compendium with loose leaf pages. Why did they, and they is us or we, decide to go with hardbound books? That's Don Lee QC. Yeah, there's format questions are always an interesting thing, and I've learned a lot since I came here about book publishing, like physically producing and publishing books. And the truth is, hardcover and softcover cost is not that much different. The work and the cost and the energy obviously goes into the the design and the art and everything that's done kind of before that point. When you get to the actual point where you're producing it, we've had softbound books in the past, different lines in 4th edition that were softbound, different size formats and stuff. You don't save that much money on the softbound part versus the hardbound. More of our fans have actually indicated that they like hardbound. They really like to kind of save and put these on the shelf. They like them to look like a uniform thing. Lots of people wouldn't buy the Xanathar's Guide alt cover because it doesn't have the same line look as the other ones. It doesn't look nice on their shelf next to each other. D&D, I think, being around as long as it has and being the kind of hobby it is, there's a lot of collectors in the group. So the hardbound books are, by the vast majority of people buying books, that's what they really want. And there's no significant cost savings to doing both versions on there. Now, your question in terms of a loose leaf or, tear out or loose monster page in there, I definitely see a strong need for that. I mean, I know that what a lot of people do is they'll kind of, take the book and hold it up and cover the stat blocks so people can't see the monster when they're showing it. So I think that those loose leaf ones are great for organizing your monsters that you're going to be running that campaign or the encounter that day. It's a great way to kind of share with your table and to show them without giving away too much. So there's definitely some benefits to it, and so I get the question. We're trying to find other ways to provide that, whether it be digital apps where you can double click on the monster and it just blows up in an individual one. We've got an app that we've been working on where, in essence, when you favorite different monsters, it just kind of takes that monster and puts it in your folder that you can be, hey, this is my Tuesday game folder, D&D Beyond, Fantasy Grounds, Roll20. All these guys have different solutions for that kind of problem. Now, on the exact problem of it'd be great just for my physical game at the table with my 6, friends around the table playing, to have that kind of thing as a separate image on a piece of paper, a nice cardstock or something. I'll be honest, we've looked at whether whether doing some kind of monster cards or something a la Warhammer would be cool and useful at the table. So don't rule that out. We might do stuff like that. Might not be the same form as from 2E, but might have the same kind of meet the same kind of need. You guys love it, huh? You guys ask me these questions and I'm actually answering, and I'm probably not supposed to say any of this stuff. Mike's gonna come back from Game Home and be like, dude, why are you telling everyone our stuff? How are we doing? Do we have people watching, Pelham?
We do.
All right. I'm always so surprised when you guys come in and watch and talk with me. Okay, morning, Pelham, yes. Plane shift, one that says it's in uncut races, play that. would love to partake in raffles for anything D&D related. Any chance you guys would run one? That was from DM Anvil. You mean run a raffle in this, or run just a bigger raffle like out for the consumer sweepstakes or whatever? If the question is about running a raffle here, we're going to do a couple raffles in today's Twitch stream, probably one about the 11:30 time slot. And then a bigger raffle, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the way of the raffle and the promotions and stuff has kind of not been as prevalent, I don't think, in kind of current contemporary marketing. And we definitely throw that out there for partners and fans every now and then. I always think there's a lot of legal hiccups, but you know, if we don't get a good fan site thing up and running soon, then maybe we could just do some kind of weird mega raffle that has all that stuff. But I don't even know that's where your question was going, but that's my kind of answer. I need Xanathars to unlock and beyond like yesterday. Okay, Axis of Anarchy. That is not happening, but it will happen soon. When is it? Is it? It's not. It's next Friday. Week from this Friday on Beyond and in your friendly local game store and Fantasy Grounds probably too. Not sure if Roll20 is getting it next Friday or not. So, but yes, coming soon. I need my rogue to be a swashbuckler or my rouge. Is there any talk of rebooting a D&D animation, movies, or games? Always talks in this. This is actually one of the topics that I deal with personally the most. I've got entertainment plans and roadmaps for all of that stuff. Love the cartoon, love our different settings. Didn't love the 2000 movie, but I watch all the stuff on Netflix and think where would an amazing D&D show be? Video games, all that. All I can tell you is all that stuff takes a tremendous amount of time. And, we don't make video games out of this building. We don't make movies out of this building. We don't make TV shows out of this building. So we need to find the best partners possible to do that stuff with us. So part of the thing is just, identifying the opportunity and then finding the right partner to bring that to market with people. And then there's, of course, the part where you make it, which, takes 2, 3, 4 years, depending on what you're working on. So all I can tell you is we've got things in the already started column. We've got things in the, almost started column, and we've got things in the we're talking, and hopefully stuff will happen in the future. But I promise you that we have a lot of minds and people under NDA talking and working on all 3 of those categories at different varying levels. And I can't promise you when they'll be out or how good they'll be, but I'll promise you that we are crafting and selecting and partnering with people that we believe share our vision and love the brand almost as much as we do. And I think when you do that, you're going to get the best possible outcome. Might not always be a home run, but I think if you've got all the right components in there, then you're setting yourself up for success. So we're working on it. Oh, hang on. It's moving too fast. No. Electric Pencil. Question. I work at a 2D animation studio. Who do we talk to for a Netflix series pitch? You talk to me. I will be great. Eric Pencil, friend me, direct message me, I'll share my email. Let's talk. Okay, will WotC ever offer purchasable PDFs for core books outside of D&D Beyond? I don't want to answer this because you should never say never, and because I don't think you guys are going to like my answer. I don't like PDFs. I think PDFs are dumb. Now, that could just be my opinion, and if I'm wrong and the medium is the right medium and whatnot, we might do it. But what I think you're asking for is there a will there be a digital version of the core books available that you can search and tag and use quickly on your computer and stuff like that? Yes, we are working on a lot of different options that would be what I think is a better replacement for a PDF. D&D Beyond is definitely one of those tools, and they've got some stuff that they're working on that you don't know about yet that's cool, but we're working on other stuff too. But when you say PDF, if you actually mean a .pdf file, it's less likely, but if you mean, you know, a cool digital format that you can use anywhere and it's portable digital format, like that kind of PDF, we have a lot of cool things in the pipeline, and hopefully there'll be more news on that coming soon. Yes, thank you. I'm glad someone noticed the fireplace. That's all Pelham. He remembered and brought it down to our prison space. No, I say prison space. Our new floor is great. The new layout's awesome. I posted some pictures on Twitter to kind of show you we're way more open. We've got a place where we can do team meetings in the open. Just in terms of live streaming right now, we're kind of displaced and using a very boring room that doesn't have any of my skate decks or cool art on the wall. Okay. What else do we have here? I want Joe's D&D movie, New Guardian 2814. By Joe's D&D movie, do you mean Dragonlance? Oh, speaking of Joe, you guys noticed I'm wearing my Archon the Cruel shirt today. That's right, Fire Red limited edition. I don't know if any of you guys bought this shirt from Joe's 359 store, but I thought it was pretty cool. I went to the store and I used Apple Pay to buy. I think that was the first time that I went on a website and went through and it just automatically gave me the Apple Pay and it was super easy. I thought it was pretty slick. So I'm definitely talking to those guys and trying to say, hey, well, you know, we need to get our fan store going to do this thing. Like, I really like your checkout process. Thought that was awesome. Can we steal it? But yeah, his movie, Dragonlance movie, that'd be amazing, right? I mean, it's super character focused. It's got this great backdrop, kind of this World at War love story. Yeah, I mean, I think that's an amazing one. Again, it's finding the right passionate people and the full partners and stuff. And so whether it be Joe and John Castle who did the screenplay based on Margaret and Tracy's novels, or whether it's someone else, you want that kind of passion partnered with the, you know, all the other people involved in the thing to get the project out so that it will have the best chance of landing and being, you know, like really, really, you know, just the right essence of D&D, but also you need obviously the people to balance that with what makes great entertainment in today's market. So Joe and John obviously are great suited for that, but we still need like the rest of the, you know, the pieces in place. So it's a really complex situation. I've been learning as much as I can about Hollywood. We've got a lot of partners at Hasbro and partners at Hasbro who understand the space. So we'll get something. We're just, you know, we're moving. We're moving. I'd like to hear a response to Turquoise Knight's question, which got skipped. Turquoise Knight's question that got skipped. Do you know what that is, Pelham?
It's way towards the top.
Do you remember what the question was?
Asking about the Kotaku article.
All right, well, I cannot find the exact question, so let's just base it off of what Pelham said, which is the Kotaku article. Okay, so did everyone read the Kotaku article that was out there, like a week ago? So the Kotaku article, oh, there we go, we put it up on the thing. There was an article about Tomb of Annihilation recently where black RPG players were disappointed about Chaltian languages and look, likening them to stereotypes of African tribes. The interviewer asked Chris P. if any black RPGers were consulted during development. He said no. What steps will you guys take in the future to prevent this and to promote more inclusiveness? Very well worded question. So let's just be upfront on this. Number one, no, we did not have anyone who is black or understands the black culture that we consulted with on the Tomb of Annihilation and Chult. That's not dodging that. However, Chult is not our black culture continent. Chult is our Indiana Jones meets dinosaurs. We have an area of the realms which is actually more for the black culture or African American culture components. It's not like a one-to-one ratio of any place, but we have an area where that is way more applicable. So it was kind of a miss on our part because we weren't thinking about Chult like that. We didn't bring the right people in to consult on those things. And so that's why it's, you know, frankly, I don't think that we screwed it up. I think we missed an opportunity, right? I mean, I think it's not there. I think what they did was they took Chult, which had all of, which had these inhabitants that used to be kind of colonialized by whoever. I'm not the biggest Forgotten Realms historian, but I understand that part. And it was a very large black population in terms of skin color for the folks that are there. And they made changes to that, but they didn't dive in and really build out this kind of culture of Chult or this black skin or dark skinned humanoids in the realms there. So that was a miss on our part. We should have asked the right questions. We should have realized what we did. Frankly, I think our biggest mistake in being inclusive is not purposely doing something that is uninclusive or doing things to marginalize someone, but it's that we're not asking all the right questions or all the questions on a particular thing. So moving forward, one of the steps that we will do is, I think, take a bigger, harder look introspective-wise, and not for black or white or green, but to look and say, hey, what are the major considerations that we should be thinking about on this story or this setting? What are the things that would possibly, make someone feel, marginalized, or what, how could this have a negative or positive effect on someone? And then when we identify that for a particular story or setting or campaign, then the question is, hey, are we currently staffed to be the authorities on that? Can we answer that? Are we, do we need some help here? And the answer is always going to be, we can use help. We bring consultants in all the time. We bring creative consultants in all the time so we can do the best work. So the answer is going to be, yes, we probably need some help in this area, that area, whatnot. And so we will then find people that are trusted in our network to give us different points of views and opinions on that. Now, with that being said, we're still going to mess up. Because we're not going to be able to bring in everyone, and we're not going to be able to touch every topic or whatnot. But the big mess up on this one is I don't think we asked ourselves the questions. And in doing that, it might have just resulted in us positioning it different and making sure that everyone understood what Chult is and what it isn't, because we still might not have been able to tackle it. Or we'll mean well and actually get people in and they'll have a point of view, but it'll be a much bigger topic, and we didn't kind of triangulate all the points. So our biggest goal is to listen to the fans and adapt to what we're doing. Listen to the people, criticisms, good things, and make sure we're doing the right stuff. Play testing materials, sharing things ahead of time, bringing in experts in the field and stuff like that. So what we really screwed up on big time is that there was this very real opportunity and topic that we should have been asking harder questions on and probably bringing people in. We didn't. What steps were taken forward? Obviously, I've kind of outlined our approach to how that's going to change in there. Specifically, an area where we don't do a great job in terms of making sure that we're making something that appeals to a black culture or our black RPG players, because we're not very we're not very well represented. We don't have any black folks on the team here. We don't particularly live in a part of the country that understands the culture as well. So we need to over-index on that. We need to talk to people on that. I've got people that I've worked with in the past, whether it be on Madden or whether I was at Rockstar or Xbox, that do have a better understanding in this space. I've lived down in the Southeast and have a bigger network of folks who are kind of more experts in the black gaming, as I'll refer to it in a general sense. But also, what about Hispanic? What about we want to embody the makeup of of our players, and we want to do a better job at that. And we're always working towards doing better. We try not to be uninclusive, but in our attempts to be inclusive, we just still have a long ways to go. So bear with us. Know that we're listening. Know that we're trying. And if you have an opportunity or you see something that we could do better, let us know in constructive ways. That's great. The Kotaku article was great. I think there was fantastic opinions in there. I didn't necessarily agree with all of the stuff in the article, but I totally agree with someone having an opinion on what we're doing and sharing it, and for us to take that to heart, the good and the bad. So, all I can tell you is the team does a really good job trying to be as thoughtful as they can, and we can definitely do better, and I'll help the team make sure that we live up to that as much as we can. We're going to stumble. We're not always going to get everything 100% right, so just assume that we care, because we do, and look at it from that light, and then share with us when you have ideas for how we can realistically make things better. Did I ramble? Did I use too much corporate talk? I hope not. I wasn't trying to dodge anything there. So hopefully that answered the question. And if not, then poke me. We got another 24 minutes, and if you think I wasn't answering the question, I'll definitely talk about that. Okay, I'm going to read some questions. Oh crap, this doesn't work, huh? When I try to read questions and we do a raffle, then it doesn't work. Okay, here's the deal. I'm going to take a couple quick snapshots of the chat. Okay, I took a couple quick snapshots of the chat. So this is what we're going to do. Pelham is going to open up a raffle. So we have these beautiful shirts. Some of you guys might recognize these shirts. Some people might remember when Greg Tito wore this shirt on his podcast, or on his Twitch cast, and got banished to the third level of hell for wearing it on screen without giving his boss one. However, I do have one now. I have two now. I have the one that I took out of the box and the one that Greg Tito gave me. So I am going to have Pelham do 5 of these shirts. So when he opens the raffle, don't jump the gun, guys. I see what you're doing. Wait till he starts it. Did you start it? Okay. He's going to give away 5 of these. We have these in most sizes. I apologize if we don't have them in your size, but he's going to reach out to you at the end of the thing and say, hey, you won one of the shirts. What size would you like? Specify men's or women's. We don't have children's sizes, I'm sorry. But specify men or women's, because we do have them in both cuts. And we will work on that. So while you guys are raffling for a minute, I'm going to look down and start reading the screen caps from before you raffled. Okay, so I'll be quiet here for a second. And who was blowing up my phone? Oh, Jennifer Erb.
We've got our winners.
We've got our winners. Okay, sorry, I did not mean to keep quiet there. I am reading. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, so we're back. So we got 5 winners. Yes? Molto bene? All right. Okay, so I read through as best I can, and there's a couple other good questions that I want to talk about, and mainly because I've got good answers on them. So I picked the good ones, like cherry picking. Okay. Where did it go? Any chance of you producing more cloth maps? Yes. Any chance of us producing cloth maps for purchase is a different question, and I would say it's a firm I don't know. However, I think we have a couple partners that we have brought on that we haven't really announced yet that could be in their purview. So one question I would have is, would you guys buy cloth maps? Would you want them of the big, the Faerun as a whole, or the Sword Coast as a whole? Would you want them to be more city-based, more dungeon-based? So definitely find ways to kind of communicate to us what stuff you think would be cool in terms of that. But as far as making more cloth maps for like promo stuff, swag stuff, for eventual D&D fan site store stuff and everything, yes, definitely. Everyone loves cloth maps, including me. Like half the stuff we make is because I love it and want it. That D&D Beholder shirt, Emmy made that design like a year and a half ago. And every time new shirts came in, I would be like, Tito, where the hell's my Beholder shirt? And he's like, oh, I didn't know you really wanted that. I'm like, I keep telling you. So finally he got the hint, but then he screwed it up by wearing it instead of giving me one. So, win and a miss. Okay, love to see cheaper alternative to the D&D minis like cardboard stand-ups or something along those lines. That came up last chat too, and I think that we're seeing, kind of enough people popping up in here in terms of some kind of printable cards or, some kind of foldable, something along those lines. Obviously we want to balance it. We've got our friends and partners at WizKids who are making a business off minis. We don't want to undercut what they're doing, but there obviously are needs and fans that, for stuff that is separate from that, who either can't afford or don't want to buy the minis, and so find something there. So I think that we'll be exploring this a lot deeper over the next couple months as we go into planning and figure out some different alternatives for that. It's come up enough that I think we need to have some good solutions on that. And okay, so then the other good question, or the other cherry pick questions that I wanted to go into, where did it go? Where can we buy Braille or audio core D&D books, or audio core D&D books? Correctly formatted PDFs would be good too. Timeless metronome, fun play on words there. That is a good one. We do a lot of our books on audio, obviously with Audible. I think we've actually looked at, is there a usable or useful way to do that in terms of a core books or compendium on that kind of format. We're definitely talking to a lot of people. It's nice living in Seattle with Amazon and with Microsoft. A lot of technology folks on the thing. So we're definitely talking about a lot of possible solutions on that. So I think the short answer is I don't think there's anything available right now, but it's a really valid question, and I don't know that we were always thinking about it in terms of a vision impaired need to be met. So that that's definitely something added that we can look at it and kind of maybe prioritize it a little stronger if we understand that that's a useful way to engage with the content. So good question. Unfortunately, I think the answer is kind of nothing right now, but I know that we've got 2 or 3 explorations out in areas that are really close to that would fill that need. So that was a good question too. What other things are going on that I want to talk about? Okay, so we talked about at the beginning of the hour. I want to remind everyone again, we've got Extra Life going on this weekend. As a matter of fact, when Bart was bugging me and peeking his head in here, it's because our main point of contact over at Children's Miracle Network, she's here hanging out today. I think she's going to come back tomorrow during some of the live games that are streaming from here. But tune in later today. I know that Pelham put the post up there to give everyone the times and what's going on there, but we've got a full lineup of fun, entertaining stuff going on there. I know Mike and Satine and Rudy and Chris are doing a lot of fun stuff from Gamehole Con this weekend, so definitely tune into all of it. It's all going to be fun. It's all going to be funny. It's all going to be for the kids. So if you do, have the extra money to donate and you want a worthy cause, definitely do. If you don't have the extra money to donate to a worthy cause, then just watch and enjoy and share it word of mouth. If there's one thing that I've learned from all the mobile games and MMOs and things that we do, it's that a free player is a really valuable part of the ecosystem. So don't ever think that we don't value you as a player or a fan if you can't afford to spend thousands of dollars with us. The community that we have is a great community, and it really relies on having people playing in the hobby and enjoying it. We give the rules away for free on the website. You can download the free PDF and make a character and play a rogue for tons of levels. You might not get all the options. I mean, we're not giving away everything, but we definitely understand that this hobby and this community relies on people being able to hop in even if they can't lay down $50 for a book, and that's okay. Because maybe we haven't made the right product for you, or maybe you're in between jobs and stuff. But we don't value a free player any less than than another player, because the ecosystem really needs like this full gamut of things. Those of us who are lucky enough to be working in awesome dream jobs like me, and hopefully some of you guys out there, it's great, right? I mean, we can afford to spend in the hobby at a different rate, and that's cool. But again, we want to think of the whole group and system and make things for people of all levels. It's a business, so obviously we have to balance it. We can't make everything for free, and we have to make profits so we can keep people employed, so we can keep making better stuff. But we definitely want to balance it, and we definitely do think about the community, and we make decisions as a whole. So so I know that I started with a charity thing and got into more like a consumer and a free-to-play thing, but my point is, the stuff that we're doing, whether it's entertainment or whether it's for a charity, oftentimes we ask you guys to spend money, or we'd like it if you had bought stuff from our licensed partners and everything, but if the only way that you want or can engage with what we're doing is to watch or to play and teach and share and do that stuff, great, that's awesome. That's totally part of it. So don't be confused when I ask you to donate that I'm saying, oh, I don't value if you don't donate. It's just, that's what we're trying to do here, is raise money for Extra Life. But at the same time, hopefully it'll be funny and entertaining for everyone who's watching. Palom, what else is going on? What do we need to tell people about? I know you send the news document. You're like, Nathan, don't you read that document I send out all the time? I think Tito covers that stuff all pretty well. What am I doing? I'm going to be going out to New York soon. For those of you guys that are in New York and you don't know, we've got Force Gray doing a live, I think we're going to try for like 4-hour show in Brooklyn. I know there's still tickets available, although I will tell you that I think last count I got, they're about half gone. So that's a thing. And check it out. I'm sure we'll post the link somewhere, or the link is on our webpage if you go to the Force Gray live events. I've got confirmation that Matt Mercer has touched down. He is on the continent, back from his honeymoon. What do you call it? They didn't call it a honeymoon. What do they call it? Like a nerdy moon, or
Nerdy moon.
Yeah. So I know that he and Mercer are safe and sound back in the U.S. of A. Although, depending on your point of view, that is maybe they should have stayed in Indonesia and hung out there a little longer. But they're back, so that's good, because that's our Dungeon Master for the Force Gray live event. We've got Joe Manganello. We've got Utkarsh. I'm not going to say his last name because I'll butcher the heck out of it. We've got Dylan Sprouse. We've got Deborah Ann Wall. We do not have Brian Posehn. Sadly, while I fly to New York to watch that game, he's going to be flying to Tacoma to do some comedy up here in the greater Seattle area. So we've got one extra player that we're trying to fill the seat on there. We've got 2 different people in mind. We have not announced yet, but we're hopefully going to confirm the 5th player in there soon. I think they need a cleric, because it's going to be hard as hell to make it through the tomb without one. But some would say that the death curse and whatever Matt's going to throw against them, that not even a cleric can save them. So maybe they just need a bigger shield. I don't know, but we're working on the 5th player. But if if you're not if you're not in the New York area, and you just want to watch that, that'll be streaming. Also, at the same time that show is going on the same weekend, obviously PAX Unplugged is going on in Philly. There's lots of cool D&D games going on there. I know there's a Dice Camera action game that's going on from there. I know there's an Acquisition Inc. game going on from there. And I know that Chris Cox is doing the keynote at that event. And I've heard from Shelley that he's got something super exciting for the Avalon Hill stuff. So yeah, November, I think, let's just call it the 16th through the 20th. Let's just take over the whole, 4-day period there. There's cool, exciting stuff going on, so definitely check that out. And then if you do go to the New York show and you want to give me a high five, I will be there. What else? Let me check the questions real quick. We've got about 9 minutes. In the meantime, I could sing to you guys, although my daughter tells me not to. Not because of my horrible singing voice, but because she's a 4-year-old little girl who thinks I'm silly. I don't see any chat. I'm doing it wrong. By the way, I don't really like being on camera, so it's really funny to watch myself in camera on delay. So that's fun. Okay, unable to connect. We will reconnect in 2 seconds, which is a goddamn lie. Okay, anything else going on? The something DM idea from Colville sounds fun. I don't know what that is, but that does sound fun. Check out Tower of the Curator from Stream of Annihilation. They have played at the same table. All right, I came in midstream on that one. I have no idea what that means. Did you write that?
Matt Mercer and Chris Perkins at the same table.
Mind's blown. Oh, I had them play ping pong against each other once just to see how two master DMs fare in an athletic sport. And I have to tell you, they are amazing dungeon masters. Rotating DM, that would be awesome. I will share this, and I shouldn't because you're all going to be thinking like me, like, oh my God, that would have been awesome. Why couldn't you guys do that? When we'd originally been talking about doing the Forest Grey finale, my hope and desire was that we could have had Chris Perkins there as well, and that at some point, Chris would have, they would have gotten into some room or chamber or something where Chris would have taken over DMing, and Matt Mercer maybe would have switched over to the player side as one of the NPCs that they had just encountered or something like that. Matt was into the idea, Chris was into the idea, but in the beginning I don't think we had our schedule locked down. I don't think we knew the overlap between PAX Unplugged and the Forest Grey live game, and so ultimately, Chris is going to be in Philly and Matt's going to be in New York on that day, and I think go back to Philly. So we couldn't get to do it, but yeah, I think that stuff is fun. We definitely did it at Stream of Annihilation, and if we do any streams next year to announce our new big product, I think we'll try and do more cool stuff like that. And I agree. I think that the Colville in that mix is awesome. Satine in that mix is awesome. Mike Merrill's in that mix is awesome. Rudy, Lauren, we got lots of great DMs out there. And kind of getting that rotating stuff. But obviously Matt and Chris Perkins, bring some really special, cool stuff to the mix. I really like watching them. They're very entertaining. Have you thought of an all DM D&D game together? Yes, I've thought about it a ton. I want to do more of it. I think we tried to dabble with it a little bit there. I'd like to do something with all of our great DMs that are on the D&D team here that we still might do for the Twitch subscribers. So we might try and do some subscriber-only stream before the end of the year that's like Jeremy Crawford, Chris Lindsay, Chris Perkins, Mike Merrills, Greg Tito, all the folks that we have DM, put them out there playing in a game together and see how that goes. So we've definitely thought about it, and we'll try to do some more cool stuff like that. All right. Why is it in New York this time, D&D? Okay, I will answer this question so you guys know. So just so you guys know, hey, why are you guys doing it in New York? Another question you could ask, rightfully, why are you doing it during PAX Unplugged? Isn't there a bunch of geek stuff already going on? Couldn't we tune into that? Yeah, you could. When we finished shooting Forest Grey, everyone there wanted to do a live finale. The whole team was like, oh my God, when are we getting together to do the live finale? Unfortunately, we are working with really talented, hardworking, busy people who are booked for all kinds of stuff. So the reason it's on the date, time, and location it is because the only time that all of their universes collided was right there. And Utkarsh and Deborah Ann Wall are in New York at that time and could not be any other place. Dylan lives in New York. He could have flown out someplace else if we had made it there, but the other two players couldn't. So Dylan was in New York, so that worked well. So then we had to take Matt and Joe from LA and fly them to New York. But if we didn't do that, there was no other time on the calendar where we could get all those folks together to do the live game. Things like Thanksgiving, family commitments, the holidays, busy shooting schedules, whether you're shooting Daredevil or whether you're shooting some new show that Utkarsh is in. Actually, I know Dylan's shooting some new stuff. I think he's actually out in LA more shooting stuff. I know Joe's editing his Stano movie, but I also know that he's working on several other projects, and getting his time is really tough there to triangulate. So yeah, just a lot of different moving parts and pieces. And if you guys don't know, Matt Mercer and Marisha and actually all the Critical Role folks might be some of the hardest working folks I've ever seen, and they, like, every weekend are going places to engage with fans and do stuff. So trying to get on their schedule is just super tough. So New York on Saturday, November 18th, was literally the only time that we could get almost everyone there, and we still couldn't manage to get everyone. We lost Brian Posehn in that. So we were like, well, 90%, that's like as good as we're going to get for this. Let's do it. So long answer, short question. Will there be any higher level 10 plus adventures in the future? That answer is yes, and that answer is also related to another question, which is, any chance of using DM's Guild or Guild Adepts at creating some content for things, other settings. Let's just run through the gamut. You plug in your favorite setting here. Any thoughts of using that stuff for higher level adventures or this setting? Yes, absolutely. That's what that program is designed to do. One of the things the DM's Guild is designed to do is to help us find new talent to bring in so that we can create more 5th edition high level, or not high level, high quality content, whether it be high level stuff, whether it be different settings. So yes to all of those things. Those are all possibilities, and that's how we're thinking about it. So hopefully that answers that question. Pelham, do we have another show coming on after this? We don't know. Okay, we never know. Were there books of ambiguous NPCs ever released? I cannot answer that question. I do not know. Although, ask Tito. That might be a question for Perkins or Cernit or Merrill's. I don't know. Ed does everything. Just subscribed. Hey, Ed. You're awesome. Thank you. That's so cool. Oh, wait. Houdini110 just subscribed. Oh, my God. People are subscribing while we're talking. Thank you, by the way, for all the people who tune in and watch this. Thank you to all the people who subscribe. We're still learning on this. We're still trying to do cool stuff and give you reasons to subscribe and reasons to do it. And not just as a cash grab. We try to funnel almost everything we get back into programming or cool content for the folks. We don't see Twitch as a revenue stream for us right now. We see Twitch as an opportunity to engage and bring more fans in and share stuff. So whenever you guys subscribe or spend money that benefits, through the Twitch programming, whatever ends up kind of coming back, we try to refunnel that into more Force Grays, more streams, more locations, more content, as much as we can. We actually obviously spend marketing dollars on creating the content. So when we make money in the space, it's kind of either offsetting money we've already spent, or we just take the money and funnel it right back in to the stuff as best we can. But the intent for Twitch is for us to have engaging entertainment, to have real community and conversations with our most enfranchised players, and hopefully to give new players a way to get in. We like to create new player content in there too. We like to showcase elements that will help new fans get established and attached to community. So if you haven't heard this enough from me or from everyone else on the team, we're totally listening. We read the Twitters, we read the chats, we read the blogs. We can't do everything all the time, so we can't address everything, but we try to listen to everything. We try to ask as many questions as possible, and we really do take it to heart. You guys are a great community. We've got the best fans in the world. I'm always proud to see you guys be supportive and inclusive and help people out, and not be negative because there's a lot of negativity going on in the world. So I mean, I think when you come to a beloved holy ground like D&D, you know, we don't need to do that, and I'm really appreciative that you guys don't. So that's awesome. Any news on localization of the books? Let's answer that next Fireside chat, so first Friday of December, because I should have a lot more, and I will definitely look into it. And I'll talk to our partners at Gale Force 9, and I'll talk to our publishing team over here and get some more concrete answers on that, because we should see a lot of movement there in terms of having some answers on that. All right. I tell you what, let's we're 1 minute over, but let's see if there's any more questions. Pop those in there right now, and I'll see if I can get to them. I'll answer Agent Prometheus question. Been enjoying the developer streams that BCom and Codename do. Do you guys plan on continuing those streams that come out? Yes, and we plan on working with more of our developers and and more of our licensed partners to put out more stuff and host it here. We think that stuff's cool. We think it's fun. We love that when people come in, even if it's a game type or genre that maybe you're not into, you know, that it still can be really fun and entertaining. You know, a lot of people might look at the BCom game and say, I wanted Baldur's Gate 3, you know, why are you doing this game over here? Well, you know, the BCom guys are friends of ours. They've been talking to us for a long time. They had a platform that was, you know, kind of adjacent to that we really thought could make a cool board game-esque type of, mobile or Steam game, and we have the Adventure System games, and we had the Tomb of Annihilation coming out from WizKids, and it just was a match made in heaven. I think their characters and their terrain and the game execution is really cool. I don't think that game's for everyone, because maybe you don't like kind of the board game or the turn-based stuff or whatever it is, but I think they've done a really awesome job at it, and I think that it's fun when you see it as more Twitch program, because we're trying to mix it up and get different stuff for everyone, so that's cool. All right, let me find one or two more easy questions. I love ending on easy questions. Will there be any new D&D novels in the future? Yes, there will. However, I'm not going to spoil the details on that, but we are working, and hopefully we should have some announcements in Q1 of next year, and those announcements aren't going to be like, oh my God, we got things multi-years off in the future, whatnot. Our approach is to try and get everything buttoned up and done and dialed in before we announce. There still might be a lag time between announcements and, you know, getting new stuff or whatnot, but we have been working on that in the background. We do have plans. We do have some concrete plans that are in the works. So the answer is yes, but we can't really talk about it until early next year. Timeless Metronome, trying to get a response for over a year. Well, I'm sorry. If you guys don't get a response, don't ever feel bad about blowing up my Twitter time and time again. You guys are welcome to. We really do want to hear it. You know, obviously we've got busy jobs and schedules and lots of meetings and lots of collaboration stuff, so can't always do it as much as I'd like, but if you don't get answered, it's not intentional. Even if I can't answer your question, hopefully I would answer it with, I can't answer your question. So yeah, keep hitting me up. Another thing is, you know, I've seen a petition for Orc Pub out there, and actually it was unfortunately going to a guy in our legal department who is not on the D&D team, and it was addressed to him, so his mailbox was getting blown up with it. We want all that stuff, right? Like if you have questions, send them over, you know. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a direct one-to-one response on that one, but I reached out to the Orc Pub guys and said, hey guys, can you change the email address on this from Marty to me, because, you know, I'm the guy you're petitioning, not Marty. And I hear you guys loud and clear. There's a bunch of people out there like the Orc Pub stuff. You know, we're talking to the folks over there on that. The petition, I don't think is going to get any, you know, isn't going to change the, you know, the fact that there has to be a, you know, the right business things in place on the stuff. But I don't mind getting the, you know, getting the stuff in my inbox. You know, I want to know what people, what folks think out there. That doesn't mean I can always action on it, or that, you know, there's a direct response to something. But yeah, you know, if you don't get a response on a year, that's, you know, that's not me having a good two-way conversation with the community. So definitely do that. Can you end us with one spoiler? Can be big or small, true or false? No, I cannot. I already spoiled earlier, and I have a one spoiler rule. Caramel or caramel, I think. Yo, Chicago area, what's up? I think we should be doing some more stuff in Chicago. There's actually a really great community for stand-up and improv in Chicago, and I think some live stuff there would be awesome. I'm not telling you the spoiler. You had to be on there. You got to come early, guys. You got to be early. You got to listen. You got to look back in the chat. Here, I will leave you guys on this. I was not going to come in today. This is my birthday weekend. I am a person who believes that you should celebrate your birthday as long as possible. My birthday is tomorrow, and I've got plenty of plans tomorrow and today. And the one reason I came to work today was because this is First Friday and because we're scheduled to do Fireside Chat. So this is what I'll leave you with is I love my job. I love the D&D team. I love the D&D community. I think you guys are awesome. We are not always going to agree on everything, and we won't always get everything out at the rate that you guys want. But don't mistake, the reality of publishing world and balancing and everything with desire to make our community happy. I think you guys are awesome, and you're making this just the best gig a dude could have. And that's coming from a guy who's had really great jobs his entire life. So you should know that I think this is awesome, and we're going to try and do everything we can to keep making sure that we listen to the fans, that we create cool stuff. And I know we could always be doing more and creating more, and we're trying, but we're also trying to make sure that we put as much quality in there. So never think that you're not heard. Just, reach out again if you think that maybe it got buried in, in Twitter feeds or inboxes or whatnot, because we're all here, we're all listening, and I know that we want to make D&D as awesome as possible for us, for the people who came before us working on D&D, and for all the fans now and for the fans in the future. I've got a 4-year-old daughter, and she loves dragons and dice, and when she's 42 like me, then I hope that she's got an awesome Dungeons and Dragons to play then, and I want to make sure that when I leave this beloved brand, I leave it in better shape than when I got here. So you guys are awesome, and I think you are one of the big components on why it's becoming more awesome than ever. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. I hope I answered as many questions as I could. If not, we do this once a month. First Friday we reserve for Fireside Chat. I think so far every time it's been at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So tune in, get questions early if you want there, and have fun. Go and watch our Extra Life stuff, and help us make it awesome for the kids too. So with that, Pelham, why don't you sign us out? And everyone, you guys have a great weekend. I know I will.